Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, Kayson Gallant with us this week.
Never fails.
Never fails. Always a warm welcome for the guests.
Yeah, always will. Coach gets nothing. Coach gets nothing.
Thanks for joining us again here at Little Italy. Kayson, you were the hero on Saturday night. That was fun to call, fun to see. We'll get to the questions that we take from our fans. We'll talk about Saturday's game in depth. But, just real quickly here, what's it been like joining the team here and what's a very important playoff battle and, in my opinion, also at the same time playing a big part in that battle?
It's been really good, really fun. The crowd and the fans and the booster club and stuff like that, and even Coach Harry have been super welcoming. So that's super nice to have, and he kind of eases the pressure right away. So it's kind of been really exciting, actually, and a different pace to things. So it's nice.
Yeah, that's good. Coach, we'll get into the games, but just overall, I'm sure it was a great way to end the weekend. What do you think about the two games against Athens?
Well, you know what? For the most part, I thought we had a really good weekend. And Friday was kind of disappointing. I called the police after the first 4 minutes and I asked them to look for my team because I think somebody stole them. It was 2-0, and but then after that, I thought we played really well, and then we got back to 2-2 there, and we just kind of they scored that third one right off the bat, and it just kind of I think it kind of deflated us a little bit there. But for overall weekend, we got 2 points. You look at the standings today, and big weekend for us coming up. But as I said, what I asked for was we got to stay in the hunt. We're in the hunt, and that's all we can ask for. And now we got 4 games left, and we got to take care of our business. So I was pleased with it. As I said, except for the first 4 minutes, I'm not sure what happened there. But as I said, it was just one of those things, and we can't do that again. But as I said, other than that, for the most part, I thought it was a really solid weekend. I think the guys are starting to learn how to play the way we need to play. And as I said, I was really happy. And we kind of bent there in the second game. But as I said, good teams find a way to win. And the big guy here right now, gave us that goal there. And I think the reaction of the fans and everybody after was when you come to a game here, it's pretty exciting. And as I said, I trust me, my heart went almost jumped out of my chest there. When he had the breakaway and then he scored. So it was a great weekend.
Yeah, I'll tell some behind-the-scenes info here. I did something that goal on Saturday night I don't think I've ever done in my life. When he scored that goal, as a broadcaster, there's not much I need to be saying other than the crowd, because I think the crowd tells the story more than anything I can say. I just took my headset off, and I just held it in my hands and just kind of looked around and just sort of soaked in that moment. I thought it was one of the cooler moments of the entire season, and a goal that we needed in that moment. Something else I was going to touch on, and you mentioned, the play overall. I think only one period, and it was the third period on Saturday night where you outshot, and it was only by 1. It was 12-11. Yeah. Shots were 3-3 in the overtime, so that's a metric that I sort of look at, and I felt that that also told the story. You outshot them in every single period except for the overtime, which was tied, which you won, and then the third period, which is only 1.
So no. As I said, the way we played, I liked it. Yeah. We're generating chances. In fact, I thought even Friday night we had some unbelievable chances, and their goalie, and you got to give him credit. He made some saves there Friday night that if it doesn't, maybe the game changes completely. So, but Saturday night, as I said, we had our chances, and when we had them, we did the opportunity. So, no, it's. Other than not getting more points, I thought it was a very good weekend for us. And as I said, when you're playing a team like that, that's the way those games are going to be. And I was very pleased.
Yeah, sure. All right, well, we will break the games down. We'll have a segment to the Friday game, a segment of the Saturday game. We'll have some fan questions. We'll preview the massive series that's on the way against PD. So thanks for joining us. We'll take a break and be right back. Thank you.
When you're craving that slow smoke flavor done right here in Winston-Salem, there's only one place to go, Honky Tonk Smokehouse. From tendered pulled pork and fall-off-the-bone ribs to fresh house-made sides, Honky Tonk has it all. Not a meat lover? They've got delicious vegan options too. And when it's time to party, let Honky Tonk Smokehouse handle the catering and event planning. They'll bring the flavor to you. Stop by 145 Jonestown Road and taste why the locals here can't get enough. Honky Tonk Smokehouse.
What are you doing, bub?
Just fixing my chair.
You should call Contract Business Solutions.
Good idea. I'll give them a call.
Proudly serving the Piedmont Triad area for over 17 years, Contract Business Solutions partners with leading manufacturers to create innovative, budget-friendly workspaces. From design and layout to delivery and installation, explore our capabilities at cbsworkspaces.com. Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate around Winston-Salem and the Triad? Meet Jennifer Sapp, your trusted local realtor. With nearly 30 years of deep experience, Jennifer specializes in everything from historic homes and remodels to investment properties, college town housing, and short sales. She's known for honesty, integrity, and making the process as stress-free as possible. Ready to make your move? Call 336-782-3148 or visit jensafrealty.com today.
Two pillows, endless possibilities. At Cotton & Crate, we make it easy to refresh your home season after season. Our 18x18 and 12x20 pillow sizes pair perfectly with our seasonal collections of interchangeable covers, so you can refresh your style anytime without cluttering up your closet. We're proud to team up with the Twin City Thunderbirds, celebrating hometown spirit and the comfort of home on and off the ice. Thunderbirds fans, enjoy $5 off your order at cottonandcrate.com with the code TBIRDS5OFF. Cotton & Crate, two pillows, endless possibilities.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, Kayson Gallant with us this week. Coach, we'll get into the Friday game and the 6-2 loss there against Athens to open the weekend. They come out and score really quickly, which I thought was a bit of the story there for Friday night, for them to get on the board early. You do respond there towards the end of the first period. Keeley gets you on the board, but just talk about there, the first 2.5 minutes, because after the 2.5 minutes there on Friday night, overall, it didn't seem like it was all that bad.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up again. Just make my night. But no, you know what? I was very surprised. I thought we had a good week. You go into a game like that. We knew what we were doing, and I've seen it before. I've seen it the other way, where we've jumped on teams early on like that, and so it's the coach's nightmare when you see games like that. You're thinking, okay, the guys seem ready. We didn't seem we were playing bad, but all of a sudden, every time we looked, the puck was in our net, and it was one of those situations. And what I liked the most is we fought back, and we kept battling there. And as I said, from that 2 or 3 minute mark of the first period till about the 8 or 10 minute mark of the third, I really liked the game. So. But as I said earlier in the segment here, those things can happen, and especially you get into a short series or you get into 2 games, those things can hurt you, because the other team, as I said, Friday night, I thought we had some unbelievable chances to score and we couldn't score, and we had great opportunities. So those are the nights that are frustrating, because you think you're going to get some goals, and now all of a sudden you get a hot goalie. So we got to be better in those situations. But for the most part, I just said up to the 10-minute mark of the third, I thought we played a pretty good game.
Yeah. No goals in the second period, down by 1 after the first, and then after the second. Whitey gets you a huge goal there in early the third period, and assist from this guy right here. That line right there that we're looking at, the goal scorer, Kramer and Gallant here, has been really good since assembling them after the trade and him coming over. What you think there about just getting on the board, getting that momentum, because early in the third period, tie game there at 2.
Yeah, no, they played well. I think they put a lot of pressure on themselves to score, and which happens, and this guy here came over, and everybody expected all the goals, and I think the first 4 games or 3 games, I think he had 190 chances, and it just wasn't going in. And I talked to him about it, just go and play, and the next night he scored 4 goals for us. So he's a goal scorer, and as I said, I thought the pass to Kramer the other night was really a sweet pass, because I think everybody in the building, and I think they did, here's a guy that's a shooter, made a little pass off to Kramer and in the net there. So I as I said, I think it was a little frustrating for him to come over, but at the start, just because I think his expectations, which I love, but sometimes you put too much pressure on yourself, and you just got to go and play. And now he's just playing, and that line's clicking, and we're going to need him down the stretch.
Yep. So, to end the game there in the third period, they, have a couple of runs there and some goals. They get the power play goal really late to make it 6-2. What kind of was going on after you tie the game there, at 2-2? They get a quick one, and then it just seemed like, a few more went in, and that was really how the game ended.
Yeah, the third one, I think, was the one that broke our back there. That one there, when you have a you just tie the game, everything's excited, and sometimes you lose your focus. And we talk about it. I'd like to say I never mentioned that, like before or after a goal for or after a goal against us, how important that is to be focused. And sometimes we score that big goal and you're all excited about the goal and you forget about what you're going to do. And we made a mistake and they made us pay for it. So a little disappointing, as I said, and then after that, it just seemed like we couldn't get going, and they got a couple there at the end there to put it away for us.
Before we move on to the second game and the win on Saturday, anything else you'd like to say about Friday's game?
Well, as I said, you got to take, when you play 2 games in a weekend or 3 games in a weekend, you got to take, in my mind, you got to look at some of the negatives, and one of the negatives was obviously we can't start at the 4-minute mark of the first, but I like the way we played. So on Saturday, we had a meeting before the game, and just pretend the game was 2-0. And that's kind of our motto. And lately, when we've been down or whatever, it just seems like either we relax or we settle in. And every team's different. Last year, I had a team that I don't know if we were as good like that. We played better when it was 0-0. And so every team is a little different. And right now we're finding out that it's when we get down, we seem to pick things up for some reason and play really well. But sometimes you get too far behind. So we started Saturday night at 2-0 before the game started, and at the end of the night we were pretty happy.
Yeah. Kayson, I think it's 5 now that we played Athens after you came over to the good side here. It was one of the questions that we
the good side.
See how I do that?
I don't know if anybody got that, but he kind of just slid that in.
Well done.
The dark side and the good side.
Well done.
One of the questions that we get from fans a lot is, are you a chirper? Are you not a chirper? And things like that. Does it kind of add a little bit more when you see that team versus playing Biloxi or some other team? PD that we're getting ready to have this weekend. PD is going to be giant games this weekend, but there's a little something different involved just because it's that team.
Yeah, it's definitely got a little bit more weight to it. I'm not a huge chirper unless I'm really mad, but those guys I know a little bit more, so I'll give it to them if I can.
Okay. All fair.
It's got it. When you change teams, and I've changed teams, and then you go back and play them. If it's not in here to beat them, and to kind of give it to it, then you're not a player. And I know him and the guys that did come over. I know it's in their heart, and they want to play well. And talking to a couple of them even after Friday, it's disappointing. And as I said, if that's not your MO, then you shouldn't be playing. You know what I mean? And you don't want them here because you want them to care. And as I said, it's just one of those situations you want them to feel that when they play them.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that'll do it for the Friday recap. We'll step aside, take a break, come back and talk about Saturday's thrilling overtime win. Thank you.
Gwin Services has been serving North Carolina for over 50 years, ensuring the safety and comfort of our customers' homes. We take pride in bringing together the best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic. What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwin Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwin Services. One call does it all.
Being your best is hard. You gotta take care of yourself. You got your husband.
Let's put in a pool. For the kids.
For the kids. Forget the car. How about a motorcycle?
And if you own a business?
We need servers from, like, this century.
Oh, yeah.
At a Legacy Federal Credit Union, we're committed to helping you be your best you. Whether it's with an unbeatable car loan rate, home equity line of credit, or small business help.
Who's the best?
Visit alegacy.org for our best rates.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, Kayson Gallant with us this week here at Little Italy. Coach, we just got done recapping the Friday game. We'll talk about the Saturday game now. 4-3 overtime win there on home ice, and a little bit of a different start, I'd say. You know, Kramer gets you on the board there at 1-0. This guy right here with a primary assist. Whitey got the secondary helper. It's 1-0 after one, and obviously a much different feel and start to that hockey game there on Saturday.
Yeah, I was pleased. I mean, after a game on Friday night, when you're hoping we come out with that energy that they have. A lot of things are on the line. But I basically went in and just go and play. And that's the one thing about this team. I think if we put we want this or you don't want that or whatever, we get out of sorts. And so I just said go in and play. And we went out and played, and I thought we had a heck of a hockey game. You get up 3-1 against them, and they were coming. But as I said, we didn't give up a lot of odd man rushes. We played the game the way we have to play to be successful. And until the third there, I think we gave. We had a turnover and they went down, and I think the puck went off of someone's skate or something like that in the net. But those are the things that happen when you try to do too much, and that's we were just talking about it off the air here, where instead of getting that puck deep. When it scores 3-1, we try to make a pass, and so those are the situations that we've got to be a little bit better in when it's a 3-1 hockey game to not get into that overtime situation. So, but no, for the most part, as I said, I thought it was a great start. We bent a little bit, I guess, if you want to say it. I don't even know if we really bent. It was just a bad mistake, and then all of a sudden, they got another one. But as I said, against a team like that, I just thought it was a great hockey game, and we finished it off.
Yeah, it was. I'll go back to the second period. They had a chance there, 5-on-3. They convert. You get a chance to answer, respond, and you do the same there. Yeah. I thought, again, we've been talking about specialty teams, but like that to me is something that your team had a challenge that they get their chance. Here's your chance, and Kramer gets that goal. I thought that was a big moment of the game, just to answer that back. Well,
the power play is going to be important. We talk about that, and killing penalties. I thought we did a good job. For the most part, killing the penalties, and you get a 5-on-3, and actually the goal, I think it might have went off a Whitey stick. Actually, I think he got there just in time, and that was one of those ones again. I don't know if it was a mistake. It was just one of those situations where the second lady had a stick and actually went in the net. So
you're in the right spot, just not the right bounce.
Exactly, and so I as I said, offensively, and then our power play, I thought we moved the puck around pretty good and made a really nice play there down to Kramer. And as I said, but what I liked is we were moving the puck, and we took some shots, and we moved the puck really well. And when you do that, you create those situations where we showed the shot, and the goalie came way out, and we slid it down to Kramer, and he basically, I could even have put that one in, but no comment, buddy, on that one. But I give the whole power play credit. They moved the puck around enough where they got those guys running so much, and that's what creates it. Everyone thinks it was the one pass. It was probably 4 or 5 passes before that and showing the shot that actually created those situations. It's not just the one play. So no, I was pleased with that, and as I said, that's how we continued the process.
Yep. I think it'll be game 52 or 53 coming up this week, and we talked about it the last couple of weeks where there was kind of a point where you had to just sort of draw a line in the sand and say, hey, we've got this amount of time left. Here's kind of what we think we need to do. It's getting ready to be game 53, game 54. Can you feel it in the locker room? Can you feel it in practice? Can you feel it during games? That these things now all of a sudden mean a ton more. Even though it's the same amount of points, than maybe it felt like in November, December here. Now at the end, now that you're in this battle in this race.
Well, I mean, it's only, I guess, common sense. You know, I mean, some people don't think I have a lot of that, but just to look in the standings and see where we are at and how many games are left and then who we're playing, it's out there. You know, but that's not what I'm trying to show these guys here. All I'm worried about is Friday night.
Yep.
And I want us to go out and play the best hockey game and give us 60 minutes and see what happens. And then we'll worry about Saturday. And we can't get into, well, if we win 2 and then it's 0, or you know, we win 1 and they win 1, and then, you know, the next weekend we have to do this. Like, by the time you figure all that out, you're drained.
Yep.
And so I'm actually, I love practice today. We did some yoga yesterday, and I just like the camaraderie right now. I like where we're going as a team. Everybody seems to be loosey-goosey a little bit, you know what I mean? They know the importance. Yep. Like if I have to put something on the board to tell them, you know, this is kind of an important game, then we got more issues than I think. You know what I mean? So they know what it is, and as I said, I'm trying to keep it to where, you know, how we play and concentrate more on us. And if we do that, then I think we'll give ourselves a good chance.
We'll go to the overtime here. I think someone's enjoying a birthday out there. That's great.
Sounds like it.
We'll go to the overtime. You know, obviously for me, one of the more memorable moments of the season. It's not something that you see a lot. I think that was maybe only the 4th or 5th time we've seen the 3-on-3 this year. Just, you know, talk about kind of the mentality going into that. How often is that something that you even work on or practice or prepare for?
Well, actually, you know, I said that as soon as the 3-on-3, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because we play 3-on-3, and a lot of times I want the guys to work hard and get a good workout and do those things. And then all of a sudden I'll blow the whistle and say, okay, now you're going to play my way. I don't want an odd man rush. I don't want, you know, we don't want any goals. And when we do that, like when we play 3-on-3, like there's no goals, there's no odd man rushes, everyone's talking, things like that. They get into it, so they know how to play it. The one thing about it is it's a little different is the ice. We usually play like you know, with the blue line down, but you know, during the game there, you know, you got the full ice, and normally those things happen. Like, you know, one team kind of gets an opportunity. They were down in our zone. They try to go maybe overextend what it is. Next thing you know, they try to make a change, or you broke a stick, I think, or whatever. But those are the times, like that's when you really got to concentrate on, do I take that chance? And that one guy took a chance. Next thing you know, I think it was Schnappe who made the pass. I can't.
Schnappe and Farmer.
And then Farmer made the pass, and he took off and went down the ice. So we created an opportunity for ourselves, and you know, he's been watching my videos. I sent him to him for $7.99. He's been watching my videos on how to score on a breakaway, and we play Showdown a lot, and I had to send it to him. So he must have watched it a couple times, because he went down there and made a nice play.
What'd you see on that play there?
I saw that, you know, like Farmer and Schnapp were making a good play on playing defense there, and Schnapp got the body on, I think it was Milan at the time, and they ended up kind of just puck sitting there, and Farmer picked it up, and I saw Ford was heading to the bench, and I saw him open ice in front of me, so kind of put myself in a good spot to get a pass, and kind of just shot it where I know the best spot is, and my dad always tells me low blocker, so I could hear him yelling in my head.
It worked.
That echo in my ear, I got it. Yeah.
It worked. Not your first goal since the trade and since being over here, but that must have been a great moment for you personally, and something that was, you know, just something that you can sit back and be proud of there Saturday night.
Yeah, that one felt good for sure. I mean, obviously against your old team, and at home with the fans, and a big win, so that one definitely felt really, really good.
Yeah.
I watched it today, and a pretty good celebration too. He went down there like that. I don't know if I could get after my goals. I can't score. I can't get down that low like that.
Need more yoga.
More yoga.
A question I asked just all players that come here during the season. You know, what's it been like so far to play in front of these fans? You mentioned the fans there on Saturday night. You gave a great interview with JJ after the game. You know, what's it been like here with these fans for you?
Well, they're loud and they're proud, and they know what they want, right? So if you can put a good product in front of them and show them that you're putting in an honest effort every night, then they're going to respect you for that.
Yep.
And that's I think what the most important part is for sure.
Totally agree. Coach, before we move on to the fan question segment, anything else about Saturday night? Anything else you'd like to say about the weekend?
Well, just I think Saturday night showed what these guys are starting to come together a little bit, and you know, when they tied it, made it 3-3, I think maybe a lot of people might have thought, oh boy, you know, we're in trouble here, and you know, we got to overtime, and as I said, I believe in these guys, and I know that they're working hard, and as I said, I see it come together, and as I said, I just like the camaraderie right now and where we're going with it. So hopefully we can keep this thing rolling. And as I said, I thought the weekend it ended on a great note, and if that doesn't keep us energize us a little bit more, you know, talking to some of the guys even the next day about, you know, it just gives you energy, and so that's what we got to carry on this week.
All right, we'll take a break and come back and answer fan questions. Thank you.
I want to stop losing sleep over this. I want to know that surgery is the right decision. I want to protect what I've built. I want a plan designed just for me. I want to know that I'm in excellent hands. I want the latest and greatest. I want to continue to grow, no matter what life throws my way.
For the best surgical care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pine Brook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green, and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples Design Championship Golf Course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, Kayson Gallant with us this week. It's time for our fan question segment of the Coach Harry Show. Kayson, first one is for you here. It says, where or who started the KG9? It's got KG9 in quotes.
That's a good question. I think it was one of the super fans in Athens, I'd say. He just kind of put my initials together with my number and kind of stuck, I don't know. And my mom loved it, and so she would post it everywhere. So that one, she kind of made that one stick a little bit.
A proud mommy.
Yeah,
proud
she
mommy.
is.
All good.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Cool. Next question says, who are you close to on the team besides Matt Garcia?
I mean, obviously JJ and Dumas I'm pretty close with. I sit beside Troy, so him and I have been getting along pretty well too. But all the other guys, I mean, everyone's pretty good to talk to if you need something. So
yeah. And that's kind of what the next question here says. Who has been the most welcoming teammate since you got here?
I'd probably have to say like Boots. You know, okay. Boots, Whitey, kind of the older group there. Actually, I say older, they're not really that old.
Yeah. Oh, no. Wait till tomorrow. Coach is going right in the room and going, hey, where's the old man?
Right to the line, eh? Right to the line. No pucks tomorrow.
Where's that old man? Boots, you old man? You here? Wow. But you know what, as I was talking about the camaraderie, and I try to stay out of the dressing room, but that's where the coffee is, and sometimes Coach needs an extra couple of cups. But I go in there, and sometimes the bantering right now is pretty.
It's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. So you're in my position. That's what you want. You want those things. I've been, you know, when teams start off and, you know, nobody really knows anybody or whatever. And as I said, this team we've had for some of them for 3 years since I've been here, but these guys now, and so now I've noticed that those are the things that I noticed. You know, going in the dressing room now, and all of a sudden, you know, you hear something like that, and you know, you just shake your head, and then I get my cup of coffee and I'm getting out. But I love the camaraderie.
Yeah.
How do you like Winston-Salem so far?
So far, so good. I mean, I haven't had too much to see yet. I haven't been here quite long enough, but kind of excited to see what the rest of it has.
He's got the golf a couple times.
Yeah, got the golf a couple times, so that feels good.
He's down to the driving range, he said today.
Yeah, about 3 minutes down the street from the house, so it's pretty nice to just get out and take your mind off things for a little bit. I think that's super important, of getting away from the rink a little bit.
There we go. There's a question here. Wants to know if you know that it's Angie's birthday. Angie here has a birthday, 30 times a year, 40 times a year, something like that? At least every Coach Harry show she has a birthday.
I think so, yeah.
Question here about Farmer and his music. Have you had a chance to hear Farmer's music?
Actually, yesterday,
the reaction, first of all, that reaction over there just
that's
says
the reaction
it all, right?
I had too. Me and Garcia were listening to it for the first time yesterday, and we were just having a good chuckle about it. So we're gonna give it to him tomorrow.
Okay, that's fair enough. I would, not my my stuff.
Yeah,
Not my stuff. No.
No.
I don't know if I'll put that on ever again. I hope he listens to this too.
This next one says, what activities do you want to do here before you go home to Canada this summer? You mentioned golf. Is there anything else you kind of like to do or explore around the area, anything like that?
Well, I was kind of looking when the trade happened. I was looking at like what Winston-Salem's known for, and I know there's like big tobacco stuff around here, and apparently it's very large into art. So I wouldn't mind even just going and seeing like an art gallery or something. Just stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, Mr. Hanley. Talk to him. He goes to, and I'm not sure the name of it. There's a little town, I think, not that far. Like it's all artsy stuff.
Yeah.
So sophisticated man.
Oh yeah.
Yep. He'll tell you that at least. This question just wants to know about your family. Do you have any pets, anything like that back home? Brothers, sisters?
I've got 3 little brothers and an older sister. We're all kind of spread out a little bit, so I'm the only one that plays hockey, other than I guess my youngest brother does still. But and then Kiana, my older sister, she's in Calgary, so I'll probably stay with her half the summer and get to see her lots. And then my dad's in Red Deer and mom's in Red Deer, and everyone's kind of from Canada. No one's really nothing too special there.
I got to meet Mom and Grandma and your brother when they came down right after the trade, so that was nice to meet them. And they're sitting in the stands in Athens there with with our jerseys on and his name on the back. So it was I chuckled a couple of times. It was pretty funny, but it was great to have him there for the support there. It was good. Yeah,
my mom is she's probably my biggest supporter, and I love it to keep it that way, and wouldn't have it any other way. She's always there for me, always cheering me on loudly. So it's good to have for sure.
Cool. Next question says, if you had to get traded, was it better to get traded with teammates, or did that make it worse somehow? Did you like having a couple of guys you knew to come along with you?
I think it definitely helps a little bit because you can go and talk to them and be like, hey, how you feeling? You can kind of bounce ideas off each other, and just makes it a little bit smoother transition too, right? Because
I think too, Dubas, having been here before, kind of knew the lay of the land here a little bit, so that probably helped. But it's always nice to go into a team and you got 3, 4, 5 guys that have already been on the team and or you've been together and get that situation. And as I said, having Dumas there probably telling them what the lay of the land was a little bit before they got here, so it wasn't, you don't walk in and everything's a surprise. I think they kind of knew what was happening.
Have you had a chance to see much of Winston-Salem so far?
No, like I was saying, not much. I mean, one golf course, a golf range, and I think we went out on the town a couple times, so nothing much. Just a lot of bright lights inside, I guess.
We've played since he's been here. I think this week we've always played 3 and 3s.
Yeah.
So we've been doing 3 and 3. So there hasn't really been a whole lot of time. Now the weather's just starting to get nice. So now my clubs. I don't know how my clubs got in my car the other day. I'm not sure, but apparently they snuck in there somehow.
Might have to caddy for him.
He's not too bad. I can personally attest. He can play. Next one says, what is your favorite part of playing hockey and why?
I think a huge part of it's just being part of a team, being part of something kind of bigger than yourself. Like the big games we do, like the Responders one coming up, or the Atrium, Pucks and Paws. Those are just a couple, but I think that means more than just playing the game. And it kind of stretches out to a community, and you can kind of be some role models to some younger kids too. And I think that's super important to it. I think growing up in a team sport is more important than a lot of things growing up. It teaches you how to make friends, teaches you how to take criticism, and work well with others.
I said this in the room the other night. When you're in a situation that we have, and not many jobs, and I call it a job, but not many jobs have what sports is like this. And when you don't know it until you get out. And you go into the real world, I guess, if you want to call it the real world, and it's never the same. You know what I mean? Like, and that's one of the things I try to get them to understand, that what we have here right now, you'll never have again. And so take advantage of it and enjoy it. Enjoy the guys, and just what you talked about. Like try to be when you leave here. Hopefully you're a better hockey player, but you're a better person. And I think these guys understand that, and they're trying to be.
Sure. Coach, this next one is for you, and whoever wrote this did a better job probably describing it than I did, but it says, what do you say to a team when you're in a game like you were this weekend and it seems that the net has been sprayed with puck repellent?
I always say if you keep getting the chances, that's all you can ask for. I mean,
I think I had 4 that definitely could have gone in.
You know what I mean? And those things happen, and that's why you can't give up, you can't get frustrated. And as I said, there's been times this year where we haven't had a whole lot of shots, or we haven't had that, and that's when you got to create it. Well, we're creating a lot of chances right now, and are they all going in? No, but if we have to get 40 shots to get 4 goals, then that's what we have to do. So as long as we're getting the chances, you just got to keep pushing. And the biggest problem when you're not scoring like that and you're getting the chances is the frustration, and then you want to cheat a little bit, and you do that, and that just creates havoc. So just stick to what you're doing and be patient.
Okay. This one says, for Kendall, any plans to create nicknames for some of the players like the Red Deer Rocket for Kayson? I don't personally, so I guess Mateen used that in Athens. I've never been one for nicknames. There's a broadcast from the USHL, Mark Citron, that works for Chicago, that he had a ton of them for almost everybody that touched the puck. That's never been my style, so I'll probably not go to that. But
just throw Showtime boots in there.
I feel like in this setting it's more like Showtime appropriate, is in like this setting versus that. But no, that's probably not my style personally, but.
Yeah, we like to put Showtime away a little bit sometimes. We love Showtime, but Showtime, it's like, only small amounts, okay?
Good in bursts.
Good in bursts.
Kayson, this is the last one that we have here, and it's a really good question, something I've never really thought about. It says, do you ever find it hard to play aggressive against past teammates?
Yes and no. I mean, at some point, if they're making you mad, you're going to just kind of see red a little bit and be a little bit more aggressive. I've never been a see red kind of guy, to be honest. I'm not really a super aggressive guy. But definitely something that you can add to your game. It pushes your teammates a little more when they see someone that's usually not an aggressive player do a little bit extra, go into the corners a little more. But guys like Greco or Leafers even gave me a whack, and I'm going to give them a whack back. I'm not going to just let them walk all over me. So.
All right, well, that's it for our fan questions. Thanks for giving us those. We will take one last break here. We'll come back and preview what is going to be a very important weekend here against PD. Thank you.
Flow Offer to Purchase makes it easy for you to generate an appraisal for a vehicle online in under 5 minutes. You can confidently use Flow Offer to Purchase to determine your vehicle's trade-in value or to get a real offer to sell it to us. Here at Flow, we've always had a transparent, interactive appraisal process that our customers love. We developed our Flow Offer to Purchase tool to offer you that same great experience online or through our Flow Garage app anytime, anywhere. Using Flow Offer to Purchase is simple. Either enter your license plate number or VIN, and the system will pull up basic information about your vehicle. Some vehicles have options or extras that need to be selected in order to pull an accurate value. Then just tell us about the current condition of a few things like your tires, dents and scratches, or mechanical issues. From there, a real offer on your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not, is just a click away. Just a heads up, our staff will check over your vehicle to ensure your Flow Offer to Purchase is accurate. Your satisfaction is our priority. Flow Automotive dealerships have processed tens of thousands of vehicles using Flow Offer to Purchase, which has resulted in buying many thousands of cars from customers. Try Flow Offer to Purchase for free today. You can access this tool by clicking Sell Trade on flowauto.com or your dealer site by starting the Sell Trade dialog in the center of the homepage.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
When you compete at your best, you need a team that keeps you moving. At Yadkin Physical Therapy, we're proud to be the official physical therapy provider of the Twin City Thunderbirds. From the first evaluation to hands-on treatment, we focus on what matters, reducing pain, restoring mobility, and building confidence. Because performance isn't just about recovering, it's about training smarter, strength, stability, balance, and control. Our therapists tailor every plan to each individual so you can return to the ice, the gym, or the job feeling stronger. The same level of care we provide the Thunderbirds is here for our whole community. Students, weekend warriors, and families helping you stay healthy and perform at your best. Yadkin Physical Therapy in Yadkinville. Call 336-677-1800 or email ypt@yadkinphysicaltherapy.com.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coach Harry Show for our final segment here on this Tuesday night at Little Italy. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, Kayson Gallant with us this week. Before we get going here and previewing the important series against PD, I'd like to remind everybody.
Is it an important series?
Yeah, it's a little important. A little important.
I didn't know.
Just make sure you put it on the board.
The First Responders Night is going to be our promotion coming up on Friday, and that's always a special one. So come out and see us on Friday. We'll have our Fan Appreciation Night the following Friday for the final regular season home game. Season ticket renewals are now underway for the next month. You can take advantage of the current pricing versus the pricing increasing on May the 1st. So you can contact Joe Cangelosi for that, TwinCityThunderbirds.com for more information. Coach, we've got two big games here. We keep talking about them. They're looming large, but a team that you've had some success against this season. I was just counting it up here. I think 7 of the 11 games that you've played head-to-head this year, you've won. What does it look like here for you, starting with a big game on Friday night?
Well, we're going to have to play a lot like we did on the weekend. And when I say on the weekend, the spurt Friday night and all day Saturday. And if we play that way, we're going to give our, and I say it, and I'm repeating myself a million times, we're going to give ourselves a chance. And that's going into the third period, if we play that way, the one thing about this team here, even Athens or Monroe, we played them, this team, they as much as other teams run and gun, they take it to a whole new level. And so if we play the way we can play and take advantage of that, and we have taken advantage of it, and had some success against them. So, but we're going to have to be that way, and we're going to have to be there that way for 60 minutes because they can score rapidly. And if we do that, then we're going to give ourselves a great chance to get be successful Friday, and then we're going to have to go in there. We like it in there. I don't think you've played in there with us before, have you?
No, I haven't.
No,
I've only played there twice, I think.
Oh, this year? Yeah. But we've played in there, and we've done well in there, and so I feel confident going in there to play in there. We like it. It's only a 3-hour drive. We'll leave Saturday, so it's just one of those weekends that we got to go and play and not shoot ourselves in the foot and give ourselves a chance. And if we do that, then I'll be happy. And as I said, I know the guys will be, and that's all we can ask for.
It's something, I don't know if we've really mentioned this too much throughout the season, but I think one of the reasons that you have had some success in there this season, we've had great fan support on the road in that building. We've had it on several buildings, throughout the league this year. But it seems like going down to PD, there's a lot of familiar faces. Yeah. And I always like to, when I see the jerseys and I can see them out in the crowd from my perch up there, I always like to give a shout out to those folks that join us on the road and do that for us.
That's the one unfortunate thing in our league. Now things are getting a little closer. It's really hard to drive 12 hours or 14 hours to Monroe or Binghamton and things like that. So we've had great support when going to Athens. We've had people in Athens, we've had people in PD, and as I said, the fans travel well, and you can do those because it's not that far. And as I said, that's the one. I think for a long time in this league, it was just too far to go, like on a spur of the moment. Or if you played, even if you played 2 games, that's a long road trip. I know some fans here today took the trip to, the long trip to Monroe there and things like that. So, but it's hard. And as I said, you got to almost take 3 or 4 days out of your schedule to do those things. So, yeah, they travel well. And as I said, we're looking forward to seeing some of them on Saturday.
Yep. Kayson, thanks for doing this, man.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, good. All good. Coach, anything else?
Well, I appreciate everybody being here tonight, but we have one person here who hasn't been around as much as we would like to see her, and I know she's, I don't want to say a little under the weather sometimes, but she's going through some things, and we just want to say hello to Miss Pat tonight, because, she's I know she would never miss a coach's show or a hockey game, and I know that she hasn't been with us all the time, but she's in our hearts, and as I said, it's great to see her here tonight.
Absolutely. Yep, great to see you. All right, thanks everyone. This has been the Coach Harry Show. Thank you.
Thank you.